going on, guys? I want to bang out a quick Q&A here. This is coming from Anthony, who's doing an internship at Georgetown University for strength and conditioning, sports performance. So we got a couple cool questions here. Let's get some lights on. The questions are always good for everybody to listen to, whether you're in the business or not. Anthony's, working in the college sector. Last year I was at Lehigh. I've done some work off-site with some universities because some universities don't have, believe it or not, strength and conditioning coaches for that specific sport. So let's go through some of these questions and see how we could do. All right. Anthony asks, how do you create the underground strength culture? Your athletes want to be, it seems like your athletes want to be great and they work hard. They show up hungry and they're willing to work hard. How do you get them to take on this mindset while working with you? It's a great question, and I really try to emphasize, as I did in a recent podcast I did with Joe DeSena. And I said that, the social media and Instagram and all this stuff, sorry guys, I think sometimes it gives the wrong perception, meaning you might see somebody or something and you might think it's always like that. You might see some of our athletes just crushing it and you think it's always like that, but that's not the case. It's not always like that. And oftentimes we have kids that don't want to work hard, that aren't highly motivated, that aren't super fired up. And they just don't have that killer instinct. Now, sometimes it takes time to do what's called turn the corner, where we have to get them to develop that mindset. Is it easy? No. That shit takes time. Did I have it as a kid? No. Would I have thrived in an environment like the Underground Strength Gym with mentors? Absolutely. Here's the bottom line. It's the human food chain. Some of these kids want it more than others. Some of them, they're there, but then as soon as it gets uncomfortable, they don't want to be there, or they can't be in it for the long run. And it's possibly something you're experiencing at the college sector. I've seen it where you'd assume, hey, I'm at a Division I level here. I'm working with Division I athletes. They're going to be killers. Well, sometimes they get sick of the lifestyle. They get tired of working hard consistently and they bail out. So what do you do, or what do I do, is I try to really teach them that this is a lot more than sports, that the effort that they put in now it mirrors life, and that I teach them that it's a lot more than how many championships you win, the points you put on the board, how many tournaments you win, how many awards you get. That stuff is important, but I teach them about the strong life, strong mind, strong body, strong life, and how to take pride in being, a rare breed, a Spartan, so to speak. So you have to find something deeper than the sport itself. Having a purpose for these younger kids, giving them something that's deeper than the sport itself will motivate them during the tough times. Next question says, with both of us being in New Jersey and both having wrestled through our high school years, we know how important the sport is to New Jersey. Did those reasons have any influence towards you working with these types of athletes? I went into focus on wrestlers because that's who I was, that's what I knew, and that's what was in my heart, especially after my ACL surgery. I tore my ACL doing jiu-jitsu, and I was a wrestler, a wrestling coach, and I was seeing all of these combat athletes getting these common injuries. So to me, that was the way that I wanted to move towards, the lane I wanted to drive in. And you sometimes hear coaches say, stay in your lane. So I'm an expert in the training of wrestlers. I'm an expert in the training of the high school and the collegiate athlete. Once it starts getting a little more specialized, I need to find outside help and consulting with those coaches. But I understand the model of basically general physical preparation, training for sports. So I moved into it because I always tell people, I go, do you, don't do what I'm doing. What does that mean? If it's in my heart, that's the path I take. Not, this is what's going to fill my bank account. Is that important in running a business? Absolutely. Money is the oxygen of the business. But For crying out loud, there's so many people, they just copy other people and they become robots, and you're not a real coach that way. You will be a great coach when you truly care about the path that you have chosen. To me, I think having that understanding, that relationship with wrestlers, it's, something that's near and dear to my heart. Next question. What made you decide to open the doors to the underground and begin your career in the private sector? Back when I began, I didn't know much about the collegiate sector. I started training the athletes part-time with no aspirations of what's happened now. I'm here in my office with my own book and all these books I've read and all this business and all this training. It's just, my son is going to build me a bookshelf that's more heavy duty because I broke my bookshelf. The books weighed it down. I went into it because I genuinely cared. I wanted to change the lives of athletes. Specifically, I wanted to work with two types of athletes. The dark horse, the underdog, the one who was counted out, but he had the heart of a lion, but didn't know how to become a lion. I wanted to work with that kid. Also wanted to work with the one that was super hungry, perhaps gifted, but just had the desire. So I work with the athletes on two ends of the spectrum. Those in the middle, those that are probably pretty good, achieving some pretty good success, they don't really come to work with us. And I don't want to work with them anyway because they're a little bit arrogant. Oh, I don't need it. I'm already winning. Oh, I'll come next time. Oh, I'm training in my high school weight room. I want athletes that hunt greatness, the relentless pursuit of excellence. So that means somebody who's pissed off because they've lost so much. They want to find a way, and I have to help them get there. And that means the training of much more than just the body. It's the training of the mind. Of course, it's the training of the body. And then at its deepest root, your soul, your spirit, your warrior spirit. The transformation may not happen for those kids from the get-go, but it can hopefully happen down the road. Does everybody that come out of our gym become a success story? No. Why? Because not everybody's willing to do the work. It's so much more than working out 3 days a week at the underground. It's the nutrition, the lifestyle, the sports training, the recovery. It's your geography of your mind. It's who you're allowing into your brain, who you're allowing into your life, the books you read, the books you don't read, your training partners. It's your sport coaches. If they have average or even shitty sport coaches, then we're in a lot of trouble. Because a lot of parents, not just the kids, the parents aren't willing to do the 100 things it takes to help their child become great. It's not one thing, it's many, many things. And that's your last question. And yes, if you ever are in New Jersey and you want to come and train with us, bring it on, brother. This comes from Anthony Santoriello. He's at Georgetown University, and it was a pleasure answering your questions. I'm going to give you this one piece of advice. You're going to be tired and exhausted and sometimes emotionally tired as a coach. But here's the thing that athletes need. They need you to genuinely care. You can't fake it. They can't force you to genuinely care. You must genuinely care. If you genuinely care, that will be your purpose, and you will always believe in changing the lives of athletes. So don't ever go almost all in. Every single day, no matter what, you give those kids that you're working with all your heart. I'm Zach Even-Esh, undergroundstrength.tv. Hit the links below. Peace out.